Chainlink is this decentralized Oracle network that connects smart contracts on the blockchain to real-world data outside of it. And Link is the digital token that runs through this network. Like the fuel that keeps everything moving, users use Link to buy services from the network. Okay, I know that might sound a bit confusing at first, so let me break it down for you. Imagine smart contracts as these super smart agreements on the blockchain. Smart contracts, as everyone knows, they're like automatic rules that do things when certain conditions are met. But then here's the thing, smart contracts are stuck in their own little world on the blockchain. They can't just reach out and grab data from the outside, like current stock prices or weather updates, because blockchain data and real-world data don't speak the same language. That's been a huge problem, stopping smart contracts from being used everywhere they could be. An oracle is basically a middleman, a bridge that takes data from the outside world and turns it into something the blockchain can understand. It lets the smart contract read real-world info without any hassle. But then, this is pretty important, if there's only one oracle in the network, it creates a centralization problem, what experts call a single point of failure. Blockchain is all about avoiding that, right? So, if that one oracle breaks down or gets hacked, how do you know if the data it's giving you is accurate? If the data for a smart contract is wrong, then even if the contract itself is secure, it's useless. That would be a huge risk. And that's where Chainlink comes into play, especially to address the concern above. Chainlink is a decentralized network of nodes that acts as a bunch of oracles to connect smart contracts on the blockchain to real-world data. They use special hardware with extra security layers to avoid the risks of having just one oracle. Here's how it works. First, a smart contract on the blockchain needs some data, so it sends out a request. Chainlink then turns that request into an event and creates a special contract called the Chainlink Service Level Agreement contract. This contract makes three smaller contracts to handle everything: the Chainlink Reputation contract, the Chainlink Order Matching contract, and the Chainlink Aggregation contract. The Chainlink Reputation contract is like a quality checker. It looks at the history of Oracle providers, verifies if they're real and how well they've performed in the past, and it kicks out the ones that aren't up to snuff. That way, only the good ones get to play. Next, the Chainlink Order Matching contract takes the data request from the original contract and sends it out to the Chainlink nodes. It even lets the nodes bid on the job, like an auction. But the smart contract doesn't pick for itself. The Order Matching contract chooses the right number and type of oracles to get the task done. Finally, the Chainlink Aggregation contract collects all the data from the chosen oracles, checks it for accuracy, and combines it into one solid result. Oh, and this is where it gets really fun. The aggregation contract can verify data from one source or multiple sources. For instance, say there are 7 oracles pulling data from a weather sensor. 5 of them report the same thing, but 2 say something different. The aggregation contract would spot that the 2 are fishy and toss their results out. That's how Chainlink makes sure the data is reliable, by verifying single sources or multiple ones over and over. After that, the Chainlink nodes get the request, and they use special software to translate the on-chain request into a language that off-chain data sources can understand. Then, it sends that translated request to external APIs to grab the actual data. Once everything's collected, the software translates it back into blockchain language and sends it to the aggregation contract. The contract then verifies and averages out the data. Well, not always averages, but for simplicity, let's say it pulls everything together into one accurate piece. In some cases, you can't just average things, but we're not going to dive too deep into that here to keep it easy. Beyond all that, Chainlink has built this super reliable and efficient system to feed accurate data to smart contracts on the blockchain. And what about the Link token? The person or thing making the data request uses Link to pay for the Chainlink node services. The node operators set their prices based on how much data you need and what's hot in the market right now. Plus, they put up Link as a sort of deposit to guarantee their service quality. It's like a promise that makes them work harder. The reputation contract even looks at how much Link a node has staked when assigning jobs, so nodes with more stake are more likely to get picked and earn more Link. And if a node messes up and provides bad service, the network takes their stake away as a punishment. Link itself is an ERC20 token on Ethereum, which means you can trade it for regular money or other cryptos easily too, and that's Chainlink we are talking about.